Our shower thoughts.
Reddit shower thoughts. Dads tell cheesy jokes not because humor gets worse with age, but because the more life experience you have, the more value you place on anything that might make someone laugh, even if it's at your own expense. All undiscovered species of birds are technically UFOs. We stick our nose into a plant's privates and like the smell. Both Cain and the Black Death killed around 25% of the global population. We continuously lie to children throughout their childhood, then expect them to be honest individuals as they grow. Every day you set a new personal best for not dying. A single bad deed can deem you a bad person, but a single good deed does not deem you a good person. Everyone jokes about how all movie villains have British accents, but Britain also spent 2 centuries conquering and enslaving around the world. The human body is extremely quiet given how much is going on inside. Technically, nobody knows if cyanide is addictive or not. It's a good thing they nicknamed them cookies. Data logging tracker script just doesn't have the same ring to it. You'd think Batman and RoboCop would make a badass fusion, but it's just Inspector Gadget. If the entire history of the Earth were condensed to a single calendar year, humans would only have existed for 10 hours so far. If Jafar had just helped Aladdin out of the Cave of Wonders and paid him, he would have won. To create life is to be at peace with death. No one wants to outlive their children. You could pull any 13-year-old off the street, and they could have a better conversation about video games than 90% of news stations. I'm glad dogs can't read the "No Dogs Allowed" signs, so they don't feel sad and left out. The fact that Frozone is portrayed as the coolest guy in the Incredibles movies can't be a coincidence. Humanity will eventually develop a drug strong enough to let you hallucinate and live decades within hours, and let you help dream of the life you always wanted. You can then be killed in peace. So then the ultimate goal of every human will be to be able to afford that drug for self and family. In the next 20 years, hordes of elderly people will dominate young players playing internet games from nursing retirement homes. When you like someone, you feel comfortable around them, but when you like them a lot, you become uncomfortable, nervous, around them. All puppies are chaotic good on the alignment chart. If ghosts were real, imagine how many dog tails you've stepped on and didn't know. Sometimes spoiler alerts are the spoilers. Since the new generation feels sleepy in the morning and productive at night, work hours might change in the future. The only reason you tell a joke is because you think it's funny. By that logic, it's weird to not laugh at your own joke. There's a solid chance that someone in your bloodline has killed someone before. You could pick up a rock from the ground somewhere, and someone hundreds or thousands of years earlier could have touched that exact same rock. Maybe a famous medieval explorer, or an ancient human. Dogs' sense of smell is 100,000 times better than humans, and their farts smell 100 times worse than humans. So their farts smell 10 million times worse to them than ours do to us. Modern generations will not understand why we associate snow with Christmas. Our success in life is a lot dependent on how many uncomfortable conversations we are willing to have. You're closer to being a millionaire than a typical millionaire is from being a billionaire. One of the earliest signs of maturity a person has is when they remember a cringe-worthy thing they did a while back and regret it. Whenever you glance at the moon, you become a temporary link in a chain of hundreds of moon watchers stretching back decades. If you believe that lightning never strikes the same place twice, you probably think that people who build lightning rods can see the future. Rams are tactical battle sheep. Grandparents are kind to their grandchildren out of guilt for their bad parenting of their kids. The pencil industry relies completely on the pencil sharpener industry. There are many giant fossils just waiting to be found at the very bottom of the ocean. Awesome is actually full of awe, while awful implies lack of any awe. Books are trees with tattoos. It's almost starting to be easier to hide a stack of porn magazines than your browsing history. Dads don't stop caring about their style when they become dads, they just have a new list of priorities, and clothes drops to a low place on the list. It costs less money to make an alternate account, buy a platinum award and give it to yourself, than buying month premium. Mosquitoes tend to have more human blood than mosquito blood. There are 2 types of people: those who think having fun is the point of playing games, and those who think winning is. People store money in banks because they are confident that their money will be safe, while their money is safe only so long as enough people are confident in the bank. It's only socially acceptable to put ketchup on chicken if it's breaded and fried. We silently accept that some people can be too poor to live. The invention of the camera marks the moment when people could see exactly what they look like with their eyes closed. Santa Claus could be real, and the only reason we don't believe is because we're all on the naughty list and never get presents. In the pre-internet world, coming across someone's porn stash or having one in the woods was a thing that has been forgotten about. If we could see Wi-Fi signals, we'd probably be totally blinded by them in our own homes. People hate two types of people, those who are unhappy and those who are genuinely happy. Dark mode is the new normal for any website. Everyone dies twice, when you physically die, and then when the last person to remember you remembers you. If you tie the Guinness World Record for most Guinness World Records, you win it too. We don't like Gatorade nearly half as much as gators would like human aid. Calling sex baby making act would help control and protected sex in youngsters. Nothing is indescribable, because the word indescribable is a description. You'd be more keen to look through someone's phone if you know their password than if they had no password at all. Your stomach thinks all apples are applesauce. It's kinda crazy that our brains invented a bunch of sounds to make that tell other brains exactly what's going on in our brain. Our universe is a prison, and we may be serving a life sentence for a crime we committed before we were born. Our release date is when we die. Almost everyone has clothes in their closet they will never wear again. If you churn milk, you get butter. So if you churn chocolate milk, you get chocolate butter. If banks only carried coins as currency, no one would ever want to rob them. There are probably a lot of people in the Spider-Man universe who let themselves get bit or stung by insects. Katara can sense when Aang has got an erection. Walking with elderly people is the closest thing to walking around with a slow NPC in real life. The amount of loss that you feel when a pet passes is directly related to the amount of effort that you put into making sure that they have been safe and had a happy life. Everyone is a space traveler. Humans are the only ones who have sexualized breasts. Since atoms don't touch and we're made of atoms, we never really touch anything. Kids who accidentally draw phallic-looking images aren't to blame. People draw peas like 5-year-olds, and look nothing like peas. It's so weird how we are just dumb animals, yet we are so prideful that we convince ourselves that we are intelligent. If there's one thing most people hate, it's generalizations. Vegetables aren't vegan-friendly, as decomposed animals are turned into soil, and that soil is used to grow vegetables.
Thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, comment your own shower thoughts, subscribe so you don't miss the next one.